Welcome to MindFuel Audio, where ideas ignite transformation. In this session, we dive into the essence of Give and Take by Adam Grant, a book that challenges the traditional belief that success is a competition. Instead, it unveils a powerful truth: the way we interact with others, whether as givers, takers, or matchers, shapes not only our personal growth but also the world around us. Adam Grant opens the book with a compelling premise. Success is often attributed to ambition and drive, but there's a deeper factor: how we balance giving and taking in relationships. Through fascinating research and real-world stories, Grant reveals why the most successful individuals are often those who help others succeed, creating a ripple effect of generosity and collaboration. At MindFuel Audio, we aim to fuel your intellectual and motivational journey with such powerful insights. This book is a testament to how generosity, when combined with strategy, can be a transformative force, not just for personal success, but for building a thriving community. So, are you ready to discover the strategies and stories of extraordinary givers and learn how you, too, can give and succeed without burning out? Let's begin. The characteristics of givers. Adam Grant begins by categorizing human interactions into three primary styles: givers, takers, and matchers. Among these, givers stand out because their actions are guided by a genuine interest in benefiting others, often with little regard for immediate personal gain. This chapter focuses on what sets givers apart and why their approach can be both their greatest strength and potential vulnerability. Defining givers. Givers prioritize the needs of others and approach relationships with a mindset of generosity. Unlike takers, who focus on extracting value, or matchers, who operate on reciprocity, givers are motivated by a desire to uplift and support those around them. Grant highlights that givers are not merely altruistic in a self-sacrificing way, they are strategic and deliberate about their giving, which often leads to greater long-term success and fulfillment. However, being a giver comes with its challenges. In professional settings, givers are often at risk of burnout or exploitation, particularly when they fail to set boundaries. For example, Grant shares the story of a junior engineer who spent significant time mentoring colleagues but initially struggled to advance in his career due to neglecting his own tasks. Over time, this engineer learned to balance his giving, transforming his generosity into a strength that propelled him to success. Why givers can be underdogs. In the short term, givers often face obstacles. Their focus on helping others can lead to a perception of weakness, as they may be overshadowed by more assertive takers. Furthermore, their willingness to share credit and resources can sometimes result in being undervalued or overlooked. Despite these challenges, Grant emphasizes that givers possess unique qualities that can make them indispensable in teams and organizations. Givers and collaboration. One of the most striking traits of givers is their ability to foster collaboration. In workplaces, givers create environments where others feel supported and motivated. They are often the ones who mentor colleagues, resolve conflicts, and contribute to the overall harmony of a team. Grant cites research showing that teams led by givers tend to outperform those led by takers, as the former encourage open communication and trust. The long-term rewards of giving. Although givers might seem disadvantaged initially, their efforts often pay off in the long run. By building strong, supportive networks and fostering goodwill, givers create opportunities that takers and matchers cannot easily replicate. Grant shares several examples of highly successful individuals whose giving nature became a cornerstone of their achievements. For instance, venture capitalist David Hornick, known for his generous approach to helping entrepreneurs, consistently outperformed peers who focused solely on their own gains. Balancing giving with self-care. Grant also delves into the importance of setting boundaries. Unchecked giving can lead to exhaustion and resentment, undermining the very benefits it aims to create. Strategic givers, as Grant calls them, learn to prioritize their efforts, focusing on meaningful and impactful contributions. For example, a teacher might spend extra time mentoring a struggling student but must also ensure they have the energy to teach the rest of the class effectively. The ripple effect of giving. A defining characteristic of givers is their ability to inspire others to adopt similar behaviors. When a giver helps someone, that act often triggers a chain reaction, encouraging the recipient to pay it forward. Grant highlights studies on corporate cultures where giving is the norm, showing that these organizations tend to have higher employee satisfaction, lower turnover rates, and greater innovation. The misconception of selflessness. While givers are often viewed as selfless, Grant argues that true giving is not about neglecting one's own needs. Instead, it's about creating a balance where helping others aligns with personal and professional goals. Givers who succeed understand how to integrate their generosity into their daily lives without compromising their well-being. Givers as leaders. In leadership roles, givers excel by empowering others. Unlike takers, who may hoard resources or credit, givers focus on elevating their teams. Grant discusses the case of Abraham Lincoln, whose giving nature made him one of the most revered leaders in history. By prioritizing the greater good over personal gain, Lincoln fostered a culture of trust and loyalty that proved instrumental during times of crisis. How to identify givers. Grant provides tools for recognizing givers in our own lives and workplaces. They are often the ones who offer help without being asked, listen actively and empathetically, share knowledge and resources freely, avoid seeking credit for their contributions. However, it's also important to distinguish genuine givers from takers who might disguise themselves as altruistic to manipulate others. The dual nature of giving. The chapter concludes by addressing the dual nature of giving. On one hand, givers can achieve unparalleled success and fulfillment; on the other, they are vulnerable to exploitation if they fail to protect their boundaries. The key lies in adopting a mindful approach to giving, one that is intentional, balanced, and aligned with one's values and goals. The characteristics of takers. Adam Grant defines takers as individuals who approach relationships with a transactional mindset, aiming to maximize personal gain while minimizing contributions to others. Takers prioritize their own interests and often view interactions as zero-sum games, believing that for them to win, someone else must lose. Grant emphasizes that takers are driven by a deep-seated need for control and a desire to establish dominance in their professional and personal lives. They often appear charismatic and confident, using their charm to gain trust and resources from others. However, this self-serving approach frequently leads to strained relationships and a lack of long-term loyalty. Takers are characterized by their tendency to hoard credit, blame others for failures, and avoid collaborative efforts unless it directly benefits them. For instance, Grant shares the story of a high-profile executive who consistently took credit for his team's work, undermining morale and eventually eroding trust within the organization. Takers are also skilled at impression management, often masking their self-interest with superficial acts of kindness or generosity to appear likable and trustworthy. This duplicity can make it challenging to identify takers initially, as they excel at presenting themselves as team players or even as givers. Grant highlights research showing that takers tend to gravitate toward positions of power, where they can control resources and decision-making processes. However, their short-sighted approach often backfires, as colleagues become less willing to support them over time. The downfall of takers is rooted in their inability to build genuine, lasting relationships. While they may achieve short-term success, their lack of reciprocity and trustworthiness creates reputational risks that eventually undermine their ambitions. Grant contrasts takers with givers and matchers, noting that takers lack the collaborative spirit that drives collective success. They often view collaboration as a means to an end, seeking to exploit others' contributions while contributing as little as possible themselves. This behavior can lead to toxic work environments, where takers' actions breed resentment and conflict. Moreover, takers often fail to recognize the long-term benefits of generosity, focusing instead on immediate gains that leave them isolated and unsupported when challenges arise. The ripple effect of taker behavior is particularly damaging in organizations, as it discourages teamwork and stifles innovation. Grant also explores the psychological and social factors that drive taker behavior. Many takers operate out of fear of scarcity, fear of losing power, or fear of being outperformed by others. This mindset leads them to adopt a defensive posture, constantly seeking to protect their status and resources. However, this fear-based approach often limits their growth, as they miss opportunities to learn from others and leverage collective strengths. Grant points out that not all takers are inherently malicious. Some are shaped by competitive environments or personal insecurities that reinforce their self-serving tendencies. Despite their flaws, takers can change their behavior when they recognize the benefits of adopting a more balanced approach. Grant provides examples of individuals who transition from a taker mindset to that of a matcher or even a giver, often driven by personal realizations or external feedback. The chapter concludes by highlighting the importance of identifying and managing takers in our lives. While it's not always possible to avoid them, understanding their motivations and setting boundaries can minimize their negative impact. Grant advises readers to be vigilant in distinguishing genuine generosity from manipulative tactics, ensuring that their energy and resources are directed toward building mutually beneficial relationships. The characteristics of matchers. Matchers, as Adam Grant describes, operate on the principle of reciprocity, striving to maintain an equitable balance in their interactions. They approach relationships with a give-and-take mindset, ensuring that favors are returned and contributions are acknowledged. Unlike givers, who prioritize the needs of others, or takers, who prioritize their own interests, matchers value fairness above all. They embody the philosophy of, you get what you give, and this outlook influences their professional and personal lives. Matchers are deeply committed to justice and equality, often acting as the mediators who seek to restore balance when inequities arise. For example, a matcher in the workplace may advocate for a colleague who has been overlooked for recognition, ensuring that their efforts are appropriately rewarded. Grant highlights that matchers are the most common reciprocity style, as their balanced approach aligns with societal norms of fairness. However, their impact often extends beyond their individual interactions. Matchers play a crucial role in holding takers accountable, using their sense of fairness to prevent exploitation and foster an environment of mutual respect. For instance, a matcher might hesitate to collaborate with a known taker unless assurances are made that contributions will be acknowledged and reciprocated. This vigilance helps mitigate the potential harm caused by takers and encourages a culture of accountability. Despite their focus on fairness, matchers are not immune to challenges. Their transactional mindset can sometimes limit the depth of their relationships, as their interactions may feel conditional or calculated. Grant notes that while matchers are often well regarded for their integrity, they may struggle to build the trust and goodwill that come naturally to givers. Moreover, their adherence to reciprocity can lead to missed opportunities for generosity, as they may be reluctant to give freely without the promise of something in return. In organizations, matchers can be valuable contributors who ensure that credit is shared fairly and resources are distributed equitably. They are often the ones who step in to resolve conflicts, acting as impartial arbiters who seek to restore harmony. Grant shares examples of matchers who have excelled in leadership roles by fostering a sense of fairness and inclusivity within their teams. However, he also cautions that an over-reliance on tit-for-tat exchanges can stifle collaboration and innovation, as individuals may hesitate to share ideas or resources without a clear expectation of reciprocity. One of the defining strengths of matchers is their ability to adapt to the needs of a given situation. When working with givers, matchers are more likely to adopt generous behaviors, reciprocating the giver's efforts and contributing to a positive cycle of collaboration. Conversely, when dealing with takers, matchers are more inclined to enforce boundaries and ensure that contributions are reciprocated, protecting themselves and others from exploitation. This flexibility allows matchers to navigate complex social dynamics effectively, balancing their own interests with the needs of those around them. Grant explores the psychological motivations underlying matcher behavior, noting that their emphasis on fairness is often rooted in a desire to maintain their reputation and foster trust. Matchers are highly attuned to social norms and expectations, and they derive satisfaction from upholding the principles of equity and justice. However, this focus on external validation can sometimes lead to challenges, as matchers may be overly concerned with how their actions are perceived by others. For example, a matcher might hesitate to take a bold or unconventional step if it risks upsetting the balance of reciprocity or challenging established norms. The chapter also examines the broader implications of matcher behavior in society. Matchers are often the unsung heroes who ensure that systems function smoothly by holding individuals accountable and promoting fairness. Their influence can be seen in everything from workplace dynamics to community interactions, where they act as the glue that binds diverse groups together. However, Grant emphasizes that the effectiveness of matchers depends on their ability to recognize when fairness must give way to generosity. In certain situations, the rigid enforcement of reciprocity can hinder progress, while a more flexible and altruistic approach may yield greater benefits for all parties involved. Grant concludes by highlighting the importance of cultivating a balance between the three reciprocity styles. While matchers may not achieve the extraordinary success of givers or the rapid gains of takers, their steady and principled approach provides a foundation for sustainable relationships and equitable outcomes. By understanding the strengths and limitations of their reciprocity style, matchers can refine their approach to maximize their impact while avoiding the pitfalls of transactional thinking. The success of givers, a transformational paradigm. Adam Grant's exploration of the success of givers challenges conventional notions of achievement by demonstrating how generosity, when practiced strategically, leads to long-term success. Givers, individuals who prioritize helping others without an immediate expectation of return, often occupy both ends of the success spectrum. At the bottom, some givers suffer from burnout, exploitation, or neglect as they focus on others at the expense of their own needs. However, at the top, givers thrive, becoming the most successful individuals by fostering strong networks, inspiring loyalty, and cultivating environments where collective growth flourishes. Grant argues that the distinguishing factor between failed and successful givers lies in their ability to practice smart giving, balancing generosity with self-care, setting boundaries, and aligning their actions with impactful goals. Successful givers approach relationships and opportunities with an abundance mindset, believing that the success of others does not diminish their own. This perspective enables them to create win-win scenarios that elevate everyone involved. Grant highlights that givers excel in professions and roles requiring collaboration, mentorship, and trust. For instance, in industries like healthcare, education, and leadership, givers consistently outperform their peers by prioritizing the needs of patients, students, or team members. Their focus on building relationships based on mutual respect and shared goals makes them indispensable contributors to both individual and organizational success. One of the key drivers of givers' success is their ability to create and sustain networks of reciprocity. While takers burn bridges and matchers maintain transactional ties, givers build relationships grounded in trust, goodwill, and mutual support. Grant shares the story of a venture capitalist who gained a competitive edge by freely sharing advice and resources with entrepreneurs, fostering a reputation as a trusted advisor. Over time, this approach yielded a robust network of partnerships and opportunities that far outweighed the short-term costs of his generosity. Grant also addresses the common misconception that givers must sacrifice their own ambitions to help others. On the contrary, successful givers integrate their generosity into their professional goals, ensuring that their efforts benefit both themselves and their collaborators. They focus on high-impact giving, directing their time, energy, and resources toward actions that create the most value for others without depleting their own reserves. For example, a successful giver in academia might mentor students and collaborate with colleagues, knowing that these efforts contribute to their research and career advancement. The chapter explores the psychological benefits of giving, emphasizing how acts of generosity enhance well-being, resilience, and motivation. Givers derive a sense of purpose and fulfillment from their contributions, which sustains them through challenges and setbacks. This intrinsic reward system often propels givers to persist where others might falter, enabling them to achieve remarkable outcomes. Moreover, Grant highlights research showing that givers' actions often inspire others to adopt similar behaviors, creating a ripple effect of generosity that amplifies their impact. Despite their strengths, givers face unique challenges that can hinder their success if not addressed. Grant identifies 3 primary pitfalls for givers: burnout, exploitation, and inefficiency. Burnout occurs when givers overextend themselves, neglecting their own needs to help others. Exploitation arises when takers take advantage of givers' generosity, draining their resources without reciprocating. Inefficiency results from poorly targeted giving, where givers invest their efforts in low-impact actions that yield minimal results. To overcome these challenges, successful givers adopt strategies that maximize their effectiveness while safeguarding their well-being. Grant introduces the concept of prioritized giving, where givers focus their efforts on areas where their contributions will have the greatest impact. By setting boundaries and learning to say no when necessary, givers can protect their time and energy for meaningful opportunities. Additionally, Grant emphasizes the importance of recognizing and managing takers. Successful givers develop the discernment to identify individuals who exploit generosity and take steps to minimize their influence. For instance, a giver might limit their interactions with a known taker while continuing to support matchers and fellow givers. A critical factor in the success of givers is their ability to leverage their unique strengths in leadership roles. Giver leaders excel at empowering their teams, fostering a culture of collaboration and innovation. Unlike taker leaders, who prioritize their own agendas, or matcher leaders, who focus on fairness, giver leaders create environments where employees feel valued and supported. Grant provides examples of companies led by givers, highlighting how their leadership styles drive employee engagement, creativity, and productivity. Grant also examines the broader societal implications of giving, illustrating how communities and organizations benefit from the presence of successful givers. In cultures that prioritize generosity, individuals are more likely to share knowledge, resources, and opportunities, resulting in collective success. Givers serve as catalysts for positive change, using their influence to address systemic challenges and create a more equitable world. Ultimately, the success of givers underscores the transformative power of generosity when paired with strategy and self-awareness. Givers who learn to balance their altruism with practicality not only achieve personal success but also uplift those around them. Their approach challenges the zero-sum mentality of takers and the transactional mindset of matchers, offering a compelling vision of success rooted in collaboration, compassion, and shared growth. By adopting the principles of smart giving, individuals can harness the strengths of this reciprocity style to achieve extraordinary outcomes while making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. The ripple effect of giving, creating waves of positive change. Adam Grant's concept of the ripple effect of giving illustrates how acts of generosity can extend far beyond the immediate recipient, influencing individuals, organizations, and entire communities in transformative ways. At its core, the ripple effect emphasizes that giving is not a solitary action but a catalyst that sets off a chain reaction of positive behaviors. When givers help others, they inspire trust, cooperation, and goodwill, which often motivates recipients to pay it forward. This multiplier effect can lead to widespread benefits, fostering a culture of generosity that transcends individual relationships. Grant uses compelling stories, research, and real-world examples to demonstrate how the ripple effect operates at personal, professional, and societal levels, ultimately reshaping the way we think about success and human connection. The science behind the ripple effect. Grant highlights psychological and sociological research that reveals how acts of giving trigger reciprocal behaviors. People are wired to respond to generosity with gratitude and a desire to reciprocate, either directly to the giver or indirectly to others. For instance, in organizational settings, employees who receive mentorship or support from colleagues are more likely to assist others, creating a network of collaboration and trust. Grant shares studies showing that giving behaviors, such as sharing knowledge, providing mentorship, or offering emotional support, can significantly enhance team performance, increase morale, and improve overall workplace culture. Over time, these acts of giving accumulate, creating an environment where mutual aid becomes the norm. Amplifying success through networks. Givers excel at building and maintaining expansive networks because their generosity fosters goodwill and loyalty. The ripple effect is particularly evident in how givers' actions strengthen connections and open doors for others. For example, a giver who introduces two colleagues or friends with complementary skills sets the stage for collaboration that benefits all parties. Even if the initial act of giving does not result in immediate personal gain, the goodwill generated often circles back to the giver in unexpected ways. Grant recounts stories of professionals who achieved remarkable success because their reputation for generosity attracted opportunities and allies who were eager to support them. The power of paying it forward. One of the most powerful aspects of the ripple effect is its ability to inspire others to adopt a giving mindset. When people witness acts of generosity, they are more likely to emulate similar behaviors. This phenomenon creates a self-reinforcing cycle where giving begets more giving, amplifying the impact of each act. Grant illustrates this with examples from corporate environments, where leaders who model generosity inspire their teams to do the same. For instance, a manager who openly shares credit for success or invests in employee development can create a culture where individuals feel valued and motivated to contribute. This cascading effect enhances not only individual relationships but also organizational outcomes, driving innovation, engagement, and productivity. Creating a culture of generosity. Grant argues that the ripple effect of giving is most profound when generosity becomes embedded in a group's culture. Organizations that prioritize giving, whether through mentorship programs, volunteer initiatives, or policies that reward collaboration, experience higher levels of employee satisfaction and lower turnover rates. These organizations also tend to attract and retain top talent, as people are naturally drawn to environments that value support and mutual respect. Grant provides examples of companies where a culture of giving has led to sustained success, such as those that encourage employees to share ideas freely and celebrate collective achievements. In such environments, the ripple effect is magnified, as each act of giving contributes to a larger ecosystem of collaboration and trust. The broader societal impact. Beyond individual and organizational contexts, the ripple effect of giving has profound implications for society as a whole. Grant discusses how acts of generosity can address systemic issues, such as inequality, poverty, and social injustice. For instance, philanthropists who invest in education or healthcare initiatives not only transform the lives of direct beneficiaries but also create opportunities for future generations. Similarly, community leaders who dedicate their time and resources to building inclusive and supportive networks can inspire widespread social change. Grant highlights examples of grassroots movements and nonprofit organizations that have harnessed the power of the ripple effect to mobilize communities and achieve lasting impact. Sustaining the ripple effect. While the ripple effect of giving is undeniably powerful, it requires intentional effort to sustain. Grant emphasizes the importance of practicing smart giving, where individuals balance their generosity with self-care and strategic focus. Overextending oneself or giving indiscriminately can lead to burnout or diminish the impact of one's efforts. Successful givers understand the value of setting boundaries, prioritizing meaningful contributions, and fostering relationships with those who share their values. By doing so, they ensure that their giving remains effective and sustainable, allowing the ripple effect to continue expanding over time. The unexpected rewards of giving. One of the most compelling aspects of the ripple effect is the unexpected ways in which it benefits the giver. While the primary motivation for giving is often altruistic, givers frequently find that their acts of generosity lead to personal and professional rewards. These rewards may come in the form of new opportunities, strengthened relationships, or enhanced well-being. Grant recounts stories of individuals who, by helping others, unlocked opportunities they never anticipated, such as career advancements, partnerships, or lifelong friendships. This phenomenon underscores the idea that generosity is not a zero-sum game but a mutually beneficial practice that enriches all parties involved. Challenges and opportunities. Grant acknowledges that the ripple effect of giving is not without its challenges. Givers must navigate the risk of exploitation by takers, who may seek to capitalize on their generosity without reciprocating. Additionally, fostering a culture of giving requires overcoming entrenched attitudes of competition and self-interest, which can be deeply ingrained in certain environments. However, these challenges also present opportunities for growth and transformation. By demonstrating the tangible benefits of generosity, givers can shift mindsets and inspire lasting change. As we conclude this journey through give and take, we are reminded of the profound impact that generosity, both personal and professional, can have on our lives. Adam Grant's exploration of givers, takers, and matchers shows us that the true path to lasting success is not solely about individual achievement, but about building meaningful, mutually supportive relationships. Givers create ripples of positive change, inspiring trust, fostering collaboration, and leaving a legacy that transcends their own actions. This spirit of giving, whether it's in sharing knowledge, providing mentorship, or helping others without expectation, has the power to transform not only our personal lives but also the world around us. At MindFuel Audio, we believe that the insights and lessons shared in works like Give and Take can ignite powerful change in your life. Our mission is to fuel your growth through motivational and intellectual audiobooks that inspire generosity, encourage collaboration, and offer strategies for success. Just as givers set off ripples that change the course of others' lives, we hope that the stories, knowledge, and wisdom shared through our channel will inspire you to lead with purpose, share freely, and build a legacy of kindness and progress. Remember, your journey toward success isn't just about reaching the top, it's about how many lives you touch and the positive energy you spread along the way. Let's continue to learn, grow, and give in ways that create ripples of impact, both for ourselves and the world around us.